Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again. Y'all know what the time it is. Underrated and Overlooked, Episode 5. Dusting off them water units, bringing out one of my favorites. So, underrated and overlooked, my boy Tarq. And again, this is another one of those controversial ones that we can consider not underrated or overlooked, but in the current meta that I'm seeing with regards to the early to mid stages, I don't see this particular unit utilized. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and use this series to go ahead and kind of revitalize them in case you guys are still looking for that awesome arena offense team to use for not just an offensive team, not just for the arena, but for the scenarios as you're starting to clear content. So let's get the disclaimer out again. I got to put this disclaimer out every time. This series is catered to the people that are the beginning to mid stage of the game, meaning they're starting out in the arena, or they're starting out the game and they're working their way midway through the content, or for the arena, which I'm primarily focusing on. And for this particular unit, all the way from beginner to up into that fighter conquer one, fighter 3 conquer 1 stage. So let's go ahead and talk about this unit, Tarq. What makes him different than the rest, right? So he got the regular attack that gives him an opportunity to steal some life. That's always good. Then he has the ability to increase his attack speed for 2 turns, and his damage increases according to the speed he has. Very, very nice. But the big kahuna comes down to the ability of having a cooperative attack with 2 fellow allies. Not 1, but 2. So you'll see this very, very common with the Inugamis. All the Inugamis have or not all of them, but the majority of them have the team-up effect that allows them to pair up with 1. But this one is one of the few, if not the only unit that I can think of that actually pairs up with 2 units. I believe it's the only one that can do it, that pairs it with 2, okay? Why is this one underrated and overlooked? A few months ago when the game first came out, I don't consider this one a very overlooked unit. It was definitely one out there that it was really good, but for the majority of people, you would see them pair him up with a very high speed team, but they would pair him up, using just one kind of setup or something like that, where they're trying to get the highest damage unit they can. Well, the thing of it is, guys, is that when you team up, when you use any type of a unit that allows you to team up, you take advantage of whatever their first skill, in addition to whatever rune spec they have. Maybe they have a bonus, some kind of bonus to it. Whatever their first skill and rune spec is, you get to take advantage of that twice with 2 of your units. And why do I bring that up? If you have the opportunity to set him up to go fast and get those turns off, not only are you going to get the opportunity to cast the spell and do extra damage, but if you have other units, if you set up your team that provides either an elemental advantage to the unit that you're attacking on arena offense, or you have your unit set up to where they provide a certain style of crowd control, whether it's provoking or stunning or sleeping with your setup on arena defense, you can definitely take advantage of some of the utilities that you're using on other units with this unit. And not only can you do that with one of these, but I have seen teams built around 2 Tarqs, and then of course they utilize some kind of a speed leader or some of a type of attack gauge increaser so that they can get as many turns as much as possible. So that's the big concept here. Don't see it for don't see it for what you see on the front end, but think about the back end and think about the fact that units like this, not only do they get the advantage of teaming up with somebody that might have on your team that might do a lot of high DPS. Consider the fact that if you have a speed / control based team, you could take advantage of have the opportunity to take maybe even one or two units that provide extra stuns onto the unit that you're doing. And so, because of that, I find value in not only using one but two. I could see value in using two in a setup, depending on what those other two units are, right? But yes, so if you guys have the opportunity, or if you're still looking to improve your team in the beginning of the stage stages, don't cut this one out. Why is this a great unit to have? It's a 2-star unit, even though you see 3-star Awaken, but it's a 2-star unit, so very easy to get, very easy to farm in the Magic Shop or in the Unknown Scrolls. Very easy to level up because you can buy the fodder in the Magic Shop, Unknown Scrolls, or you even get them in 5-Mile Volcano. And then, in addition, you have the opportunity to, since you have the opportunity to get some of his beginning runes, like the runes that kind of showcase his talents early on. You get the opportunity to use him for what he's worth right from the get-go. So he's going to definitely shine in my eyes with the most speed as possible. So I'm looking at the Swift Blade kind of a setup. If I had the opportunity to, test it out, run it. Obviously, if you're trying to blend him for a unit that's going to provide more damage, then a Rage Blade setup would be good. With an attack on 2, crit damage on 4, and attack on 6. That being said, if the optimal goal is to utilize him early on in the fights and build your team around crowd control and high speed, and you don't have a lot of runes on the side that have a lot of speed-based stats that I prefer recommending you guys anyways, utilizing the swift approach versus the speed approach, right? And in addition, going for that speed for the 2-slot attack and for the 4 and the 6 slot. You'll see some people recommend, again, the crit damage on 4 slot, but at the early stages of the game, you're not going to have too many units that provide, or that you're going to be able to get the crit rate up really, really high, because the quality of a high crit rate, in addition to other substats, you're going to get that more in the late game when you start getting those 5 or 6-star runes with high substat percentages. In the early stages of the game, you kind of have to focus on the primary stats of the runes. That's the ones that are going to kind of shine when you're sitting with those 2-star, 3-star runes. When you get into those 5-star, 6-stars, then you can kind of break away from that. But I like a Swift Blade with a speed attack, and from from some of the notes that I've gathered over the course of the variety of builds out there and notes that people have taken. He is one of the people that it seems like, and it's not set in stone, right? But if you're trying to utilize this, if you're trying to generate a team and trying to play around with it in an arena defense setting, it seems like in more cases than not, he utilizes that third skill whenever it is available. So chances are, I've known it to be true when I fight, when I find the Tarqs. When I fought the Tarqs leveling up, it seemed like him as well as the Water Bounty Hunter always used their third skill, which is their showstopper kind of skill, always when it was available. So, of course, I can't provide accurate information as far as if that is true, if that's one, but it seems that more times than not, he utilizes third skill when you are trying to use it, when you are trying to utilize a team for the arena defense setting. Obviously, In this particular setting, I'm kind of talking about the arena offensive side, and and trying to focus on what you can control. Since you control him, you have the opportunity to utilize him. And then, of course, and the last thing I want to talk about is the fact that when you are utilizing him for elemental advantage, you have the opportunity to set him up. You have the opportunity to set your team up to be strong against whatever team you're going against. So what I'm saying is, you're going to find a lot of people still trying to utilize whatever leader skill they got, but a lot of the early game units that people get, their leader skills are based around one element. So what do? They make the mistake of trying to make a mono element team so that they can provide synergy between their units, but that only gives the opportunity for the arena offensive person to set up their team to basically be strong against the team they're attacking, right? So if I have a water based team, if the opponent has a water based team, and I have two Tarks, I'm gonna try to find two wind based units on my team, in addition to my two Tarks that I can utilize to do this. If I wanted to take advantage of the most damage possible that I can do. In addition, if I had a crowd control team, I'm going to be focusing on bringing the best wind or water based units that I have for CC, because obviously the chance for me landing certain effects is going to be a little bit better when you're strong, when you have the elemental advantage on it. So I think that's pretty much it, guys, that I want to go ahead and chime in. If you guys that have used Tarq way back when or currently use it, showcase your current rune setups and showcase what your strategies are, because I love the reactions that I've seen in videos, and I've done it with myself, where I see this team that's built around two Tarks and I'm like, really, bro, I got this, and I go in there and I get my asshole I get my ass handed to me, because their speed is outrageous. I mean, they get the opportunity to do these attacks right off the bat. They have a unit that stuns or sleeps or provokes. They take away my control, and then they get their second attack off that provides them increase of the attack speed for 2 turns. So they're just continuously this crazy amount of speed, in addition to their swift set and their speed rune on the 2 slot. They're getting the opportunity to attack so much more. And then since they got this unit and it's easy to max out, this cooldown time for this skill goes down to 2 turns. And I believe I forgot off the top of my head here, but this one goes down, but I don't remember how many times it does. I think it's only once or twice, but the opportunity to reduce both obviously go down, and because of that, because you're attacking so frequently and you have so much speed, these skills come up real quick, and you get the opportunity to use it again. So very, very cool unit. Again, we're talking about the early to mid stages of the game, guys. So if you're trying to use this in Guardian 1 ranking, you're a baller if you can, but you're not going to see it utilized. It's definitely a squishy unit. This is for the people that are looking for those high speed type units that can you can benefit from not only what they bring to the table, but what your units on your team can bring to the table. So if you have different units providing defense break, if you have different units providing stuns, provokes, whatever their first skill does, plus if they have a despair set on that unit and can stun, good at providing a lot more utility than you can imagine. So we'll go ahead and call it right there, guys. Thank you all for tuning in again. I apologize in advance if you guys, some of you guys have different opinions. I'm only providing views based on my experience, as well as some of the people that I've known and trusted for many, many months now, playing the game with me since the beginning. So that being said, there is more than one way to create a unit, and there's more than one way to build it. So take do some research and take advantage of units like this, and then see what you can do as far as trying to incorporate this unit into your team, so you can start farming them glory points and getting yourself some nice perks for the arena. All right. It's your boy Childish or Childish Plays. Check it out. Take care. We'll see you next time.